Happy Wednesday. It's the 26th day of February, 9:05. That's the time, and we got a great show for all of you. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, we're going to be joined by the Riverbend Christian Leadership Academy, formerly Mississippi Valley Christian School, and we're going to get the latest from them. Then at 10:10, Lacy McDonald returns to the show. We're excited to have her back and taking us back in the time machine 100 years and going to take a look at one of her articles, too. So a lot happening on the show. I hope you join me in the next 2 hours. And if you don't watch me live, well, you can always go to RiverBender.com /daily show. I don't know what to do with the weather starting to get warmer, too. It's kind of weird, you know? It's like you walk outside and you're really prepared for the day, and then by the time 5 o'clock hits, it's starting to get freezing cold. I don't know. Maybe that's just a personal problem. But hey, top of the hour news now. Make sure you sign up for that daily email update where you'll never miss out. You can join myself and 70,000 people that are in the know each and every day of the work week and on Saturdays with Around the Riverbend. We'll take you to Alton first. Lionel Carter, a 39-year-old resident of Alton, faces several felonies following a violent altercation stemming from a disagreement over a car purchase. Charged on February the 21st with aggravated domestic battery and other offenses, Carter allegedly strangled a family member and assaulted her during the incident on January the 6th. Court documents reveal he followed the victim into the bathroom, struck her multiple times, and caused damage to property. Carter was already on pretrial release for previous charges, including domestic battery. He is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Also in the news today, a fire erupted in a locomotive on the Norfolk Southern Railroad tracks just north of West Ferguson and Wood River yesterday, drawing the attention of local emergency crews. Here's what we know. This blaze did originate in the main DC power system of the train. Wood River Fire Chief Wade Stallhut confirmed that the blaze was contained to the engine, while with firefighters from Wood River, East Alton, and Roxana working together to isolate power and extinguish the flames promptly. Fortunately, there were no injuries reported, and the cause of the fire currently under investigation. We will keep you updated if more details do emerge. Amber Porter is leading a fundraiser for her brother Matt, who was severely injured in a dog attack at his home on February the 19th. Matt, 35, had rescued Karma, a pit bull, just 8 months prior. Porter described the attack as shocking and unprovoked, stating that Karma suddenly turned on her brother. Currently recovering at SLU Hospital, Matt faces a life-threatening situation, faced a life-threatening situation, and lost significant blood, and he's undergone multiple surgeries on his arms, essential for his job as a tree cutter. A GoFundMe campaign, which is linked on the RiverBender.com article, has been established to assist with the medical expenses and support his recovery. Also in tragic news, a shooting in Cahokia Heights has resulted in the death of 15-year-old Charles E. Jones, who succumbed to his injuries on February the 25th. The major case squad of Greater St. Louis is actively investigating this incident, which occurred on February the 22nd. Detectives have pursued over 60 leads, with some individuals already in custody. Public Information Officer Sergeant Andrew Pearson stated the investigation is ongoing and emphasized the need for community assistance. Tips can be provided to the major case squad or through Crime Stoppers as authorities seek more information related to this case. And finally, in the news this morning, in Madison County, 2 individuals face charges in separate child battery cases. Gordon S. Williams, 40, of Granite City, was charged on February the 21st with aggravated battery for allegedly striking a 6-year-old child with a belt, leaving bruises in a separate incident. Sierra, a Lawson, 25, of Highland, was charged with aggravated battery on February the 18th after allegedly striking a 2-year-old multiple times, causing extensive bruising. Both cases were presented by the respective local police departments, and each defendant has been granted pretrial release with all charges based upon probable cause. With all charged individuals, presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. And let's take a look at weather at 9:10. Man, it is warming up quick out there. 52 already. and it feels like 55 in downtown Alton. Today, sunny with some clouds coming in the afternoon, but really just a great day to get outside and be a part of it. Temperatures will reach almost 60 again today, but here's the sad news. We are going to get that rain out there throughout the day if it hasn't started already. We did see some drizzle in the early parts of this morning, and it's going to drop almost 24 degrees, just above freezing tonight as we head into Thursday. On Thursday, we can expect a high of 57 degrees, a low of 27, which will be the second coldest day of the next 5 days. And on Friday, almost 70 degrees, a high of 66, a low of 36 degrees. So watch for that quick drop and cool down overnight. On Saturday, more sunny skies, a high of 46, a low of 23 degrees. And on Sunday, the second day of March, a high of only 42 and a low of 33 degrees with, again, sunny conditions. But today, do expect that rain as temperatures will reach 57 and then drop down to 33 overnight. And that's a look at the next 5 days. Air quality right now sits at 33, which is good, and humidity at 70%. Brian Trust, host of Your Beautiful Thursdays at 2. Visibility for 12 miles. You can stay up to date in real time all the time by texting RB to 618-202-4618. That's RB to 618-202-4618. And you can sign up for instant weather updates and alerts when you need them the most. You can also go to RiverBender.com/weather or just give that area landmark phone number a call, 618-465-4545. This time powered by Bounce Back. Rehab, recover, and return home. Before I take a quick break, let me fill you in on Denise Sparks. She's the best. Sparks Junk Removal and Hauling. You know, she was just on the show a couple of days ago, and just hearing some of the work that she has to do behind the scenes to, keep the trash service efficient and affordable for all of her clients. She truly goes above and beyond, and that's why I love Denise. I mean, everything she does is with 110% effort, and I think that's what truly showcases the value in a Sparks Junk Removal and Hauling. For 30-plus years, Denise Sparks has been the queen of junk removal. I mean, no matter what, if you have commercial property, if you have residential property, she's the one you call. I mean, she's the one everyone always used to call and still does. And now with this trash service, I mean, it's incredible. Those purple and yellow trash cans, they just keep multiplying. It's like, whoa, there's another 3, not 1, but 3, because people know that when they switch to Sparks, they're going to get somebody that answers the phone and is truly there to support them in that, small business way that so many of us grew up knowing right here in this community. You can learn more about her services and their mission at sparksjunkremoval.net. That's sparksjunkremoval.net. And don't forget to tell them that CJ sent you over their way. We'll take a quick break. We'll take a look at downtown Alton, and we'll get this Wednesday morning going right after this.
Sharing horizons that are new to us, watching the signs along the way, talking it over, just the two of us, working together day to day.
Hey, would you drop by the pharmacy? My doctor switched my cholesterol medication.
Yeah, will do, honey. I'm glad he's looking out for you.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including managing chronic conditions. Schedule an appointment today.
What are you doing?
We did our home insurance ourselves, but don't feel protected.
So you're building your own American Family Insurance roof line?
Yeah, life's better when you're protected under American Family's roof.
That's not how it works.
Dad, we'll go. It's gonna hit.
See, that's how it works.
For real protection, save up to 23% by bundling your home and auto with us.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville. Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Village Dispensary has the best deals in Godfrey, Illinois with specials 5 days a week. Mondays, roll in the week with 20 to 30% off select pre-rolls. Tasty Tuesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select edibles. Waxy Wednesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select concentrate and vape brands. Thirsty Thursdays, sip and save with 20 to 30% off all drinks. Flower Friday, grab select 3.5 gram flower deals starting at just $20. Village Dispensary, come meet your best buds.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back. Tim, how's life treating you at Riverbend Christian Leadership Academy?
It's going great. It's going great. Yeah, we're in.
Do I still call it Mississippi Valley still?
I still call it that, but obviously we're in the transitional phase of that.
I'm kind of just excited. You know, I hate to say it. I think this is great.
Yeah, well, and we've gotten a lot of positive feedback from it and the plans to move forward.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're excited. Even since I've been here the last time, we've had 3 families that have come to visit.
Good.
And I would say that at least 4 out of the 5 students will be enrolled. And so, again, already we're starting that process and moving forward.
Man, this is great. Well, you know, where are we at this time in the year? I mean, February's all but said and done finally, and, you know, springtime's here, and we're off to summer soon.
Yeah, our girls are going to state tournament this Friday.
For what?
For basketball.
Oh, wow, cool.
Yeah, so we're still in our basketball season, and they're seeded 2. We've got a nemesis that we beat last year for the state title that, eventually we'll have to overcome one game at a time. But they'll be going for that, and then we end third quarter end of next week, and then we're at wrapping things up as we get towards graduation and the end of May and that kind of thing. So
wonderful. Well, you know, you did bring some pretty cool stuff in today, so I'm guessing we're getting close to some type of auction or trivia night. Or
yeah, we have our trivia night, which is a month from Friday. It's on the 28th of March, and so we're hoping to fill our gymnasium with folks that are going to come out and enjoy a cool night of trivia. It's themed. I don't know if it's officially released what that theme is, so I better hold that one back for now.
Have you got it in past committee yet?
Oh, it's past committee.
Oh, okay.
It's in full planning. In fact, I even was down to by design to because there's a role that I'm supposed to play with that as well. So I had to get some things altered, shall we say. So we're making plans for that. We have a number of things, Cardinal memorabilia that is available through that raffle. We're doing it a raffle style. And so I brought some of that stuff. We got a Stottlemyre autographed picture here, as well as an Ozzie Smith ball, a Whitey Herzog ball, and then this one is Molina, Pujols, and Wainwright have all signed this one.
Wow.
So we have a number of cool items, and they can go to our...
I'd say so. Wow, you buried the headline there, man. That's a pretty darn good... that's a pretty good last one you just throw out there. That'll go a little bit. I think that'll fund about 3 years.
Well, listen, I'm okay with that. Let's get the bidding going, or
let's
however
start
that's
it on
gonna
the
work.
show. We'll open it now.
Yeah.
No, this is fantastic. How did you guys put all this together? Because this isn't easy. I mean, this is hard to do.
Well, some of it's even the strategy change.
Yeah.
In the past, we have done a dozen small fundraisers, and really, as we've come together afterwards and looked at it, it's like, well, there's a lot of work that goes into this fundraiser, but there's not really the material, the amount of money that is. Wait, we all should have just gone to our jobs and donated the money that we made at our jobs. So we're trying to build our trivia night into that main once a year, or one of the 2 or 3 main fundraisers each year. So we're hoping to really see the community come out and be a part. Our staff filling tables, our students and their families filling tables, that type of thing. And obviously, it's meant for a good cause. As anyone would know that's worked with old and historic buildings, there's hundreds of thousands of dollars that need to be spent to really bring the facility up to where it needs to be. So we're trying to piecemeal those one at a time. The 2 big ones that we're focused on right now is bathroom facilities in our gymnasium. So if you've been to our campus, we have 3 buildings there. The gymnasium, once upon a time, had a bathroom in it, but according to my 1929 blueprint, the plumbing for that just ran into the creek.
Oh no, yeah, that's
and so
a no-go.
Obviously that's not functional.
Yeah.
And so right now, folks have to go up to the other building to use the restroom facilities. What we'd like to do is expand that a little bit with long-term plans in mind. As well as another big project that we have is we want to start redoing some flooring and such in our main level, which is library and blue room. Well, that's 10,000 square feet right there.
Right.
I'm not going to put $1 flooring in there.
Right.
But even then, you're talking $10,000 a square feet. So the more expensive the flooring, boy, that number climbs really quick. And so those projects get big.
Well, and that's the thing too. I was looking. I just went to mvcs-il.org to see the information on the trivia night, and we'll go through a little bit more. So that's why I was looking over there. But I mean, it's things like that a lot of people might not even think about, where it's like, oh, updating, to just a modern, setup and just layout, bathrooms there, and it's really kind of eye-opening in a way where, how you guys kind of had to, I don't want to say function, but really operate in, a really outdated building.
Yeah. And again, there's positives and negatives to historic buildings.
Sure. Yeah.
Will somebody come in and say, well, you don't have modern facilities? Well, there's a lot of work being done in our hometown here to update historic buildings. And boy, that work seems to be taking quite some time and costing quite a bit of money. Well, that's what it takes to do it.
That's a good point. I mean, it just does.
The right way.
Right.
And again, we don't have government funding as a private school. And again, that's not a complaint. It's just a reality of we have to raise the money in other ways.
Well, and I mean, you make a really good point, because, you have students coming in to tour and their families, and, obviously the faculty and your staff and student life is what truly is the sell point.
Yeah.
But when you have updated, facilities and things look kind of a little bit, I don't want to say cleaner, but just more, updated.
Correct.
It's a stamping point, really.
Right. Well, and again, we don't want to get cart before the horse.
Right.
But we have, we have that blueprint of all of those buildings that have been taken down. And I would love to, and I have a vision to see those buildings actually rebuilt.
Wow.
In the future as we grow
That's
and expand.
incredible. Yeah.
Because I want it to be more than just a Christian school and have a lot more offerings. And again, that's
way
down
the
road. However, we all know that things that are 20 years down the road can be protracted very quickly if you have the right players come in and say, hey, I'm behind this. I want to see this go forward.
Right.
And those timelines can be sped up significantly.
Well, you got to you have to make it known, because if nobody knows about it, nobody's going to,
Yeah, I can think about it while I lie awake at night in bed, but that's not going to move it forward.
Man, I'm telling you what, you guys went all out for this Trivia Night fundraiser and raffle. So Trivia Night, if it's on the website, it's ready to go, correct? All righty. Get ready to roll the dice, because you can join in for a fun-filled night of trivia, March the 28th. Doors open at 6 p.m., and this year's theme is Monopoly.
Okay, they do have the theme out there.
Yep.
All right.
We're excited now. Raising funds for just campus improvement is what we were just talking about with Tim a little bit. And what's going to happen with the library room?
Well, again, that library room has a lot of books that were even there when Faith bought the property 50 years ago. And so it's between it and the Blue Room. There's 10,000 square feet there. So again, all of those.
Going back to that same thing.
Yeah, that library is the main level as you're coming in, and again, there's obviously tons of books in there. We want to maintain a certain amount of that, but there's just upgrades that need to be done. If we're going to do the flooring, well, we better paint the walls. Everything needs to get painted. So those projects begin to stack. That, boy, it makes sense to do these things now.
That's where I was because I thought, and this is really kind of a good understanding point for me too, because when I saw just reading this, I thought, well, maybe, library updates too. For some people, I'm thinking, some people are getting these interactive floors, but it's just getting it back up to basics, and that's a really good point to make really for you guys. It's just getting the upgrades done, the needed ones.
Yeah, and again, it's functional. It works. I mean, it's...
I like this.
But we want to present as well as we can, and starting to do those things intentionally, and raising the money is obviously
It seems like you all have a really good plan, though. I mean, or at least a really solid idea of what the movement needs to be, because a lot of times you see these ideas die on the vine because you get to step one, maybe you barely get to step two, and then boom, done and flat. What's the motive behind the team? Is there just kind of just that same mindset, or how is this really working?
Well, we have a team of people who have already and continue to sacrifice to see Christian education go forward, as Faith did as well.
Right.
And so I'm coming up. I'm finishing out my 6th year here, and as a part of this ministry, only the year and a half, 2 years of those have I been in this role, but. As I was transitioning into this role, again, you start thinking about all of these different projects. What do we do? What is the vision for the future of what we're creating here? And so I'm of the 10X rule mindset, where it's like, hey, you know what? We'll do maximum effort and put maximum work into getting these things done. But you also have to realize the reality of time. That process is frankly more important than the result.
Yeah.
If you're not eating right, you're going to end up unhealthy. Right. If you're not working out, you're going to end up not in good shape. Same thing goes for here. There's the day-to-day process, but there's also the vision process.
Well, and it seems like, too, everyone really is motivated. And that's a hard thing to do, too, because whenever you can't see it, it's hard to be motivated for it.
Correct. So my role is casting vision and creating relationships in the community and that kind of thing, and even transitioning into that because it's not been necessarily done that way in the past. All of our teachers have signed letters of intent to return and to be part of this process, and so we're hoping to expand even that teacher base as we go forward. And a number of other roles that we recognize that we need to fill. And so, again, this is as good of an opportunity as anybody to put that out and say, hey, we are beginning that hiring process of who will be a part of this ministry going forward, and making those connections.
Well, and it's really an exciting time because there's no better time to join something than whenever you have all this opportunity out in front of you, because it's only going to go as well as you as the effort you put into it, like you just said. So be a part of the train, get it moving, and all of a sudden you can be a part of something that truly grows with you, as a spoke on the wheel.
Right. And so if you you're a teacher, or you have a passion for education, and you want to be a part of training the generation of Christian leaders of the future, then that's what we're trying to accomplish, and that's what our mission statement is. And I'll say it again: we inspire curiosity to develop lifelong learners and Christian leaders. And so the curiosity part is that education piece. If you're not curious, you're probably not learning.
100%.
And then from a Christian leadership standpoint, I truly believe there's a crisis of Christian leaders. I was talking with some pastors even just this week, and I said, well, I'm a transplant. You're a transplant. You're a transplant. We transplant leaders into our community, and hopefully they stay. But where and how are we raising up the Christian leaders from our community that would stay and impact it?
Right. Well, and that's another thing too, because the whole youth argument, well, man, we have no youth here. It's not just, you can build whatever you want to build, and that's great, but there's always that desire as a young person to get away for a little bit.
Right.
And so what are you going to do to have them build young people build relationships? Because you can put any billion-dollar entertainment district up, but eventually the new wears off on the chandelier, you know?
Right.
So it's like you said, building that foundation for them to stay and truly invest here. It's a great idea. I mean, truly is.
Yeah. Well, and we're trying to build that culture that people want to be involved with. It's Wednesday today. I think we have one of our graduates from last year who is coming back and doing some observations for their teaching program, and we want to encourage that type of thing. Yeah, some of them leave, but I don't know. I'm a transplant here from the East Coast. Right. When we leave, we leave. And we don't come back.
Right.
But here, it seems to me that it's different. That folks do leave, but they do turn around and say, boy, I remember that hometown atmosphere.
You can't beat it.
And I want to go back to that. So I think that part is on our side here in Alton. So create the process and create the culture that says, hey, we've trained you. Maybe you do go away for your degree and have some of that life experience, but then, come back and then, bring your spouse back with you. Let's expand the gene pool, shall we say.
With that being said, let me ask you about tickets for trivia night.
Yes.
$30 for one. Do you do table seats?
Well, we do. I don't know if there's a table price. I would go with that and not speak on it because I don't know for sure.
Okay. So $30 for a ticket, but it includes your entry and your meal and a mulligan for your table. So meat, sides, dessert, and beverage. What are we having?
Doing pulled pork and smoked pulled pork, and we have a number of families that do that even as a business, and so they're working with us to provide that. And
that's cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. $30. You can get them online, and this is again March the 28th at 6:30 p.m. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back a little bit more with Riverbend Christian Leadership Academy, Mississippi Valley Christian School. I'm just excited. I'm just saying all the names. Why not?
That's how I'm doing it for now too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, I don't feel alone then. We'll come back with more Daily Show right after this on RiverBender.com, Roku TV.
Oh no, another bad headache? Yeah. Maybe it's time to see your doctor.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including diagnosing health issues or referring you to a specialist. Schedule an appointment today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
Get paid to go solar.
We're not solar bros. At Grid, we're solar pros. We explain the process behind solar power so you can make an informed decision. We'll work with you to make owning your power as simple as possible and affordable with zero down financing and payment options. Our only goal is to save you money. Call Grid when you're ready to be independent of the power company.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Turn us on when you are gone. I turn us on.
9:34, that's the time on this 26th day of February. Tim back in the studio. And Mississippi Valley Christian School, Riverbend Christian Leadership Academy, March 28th, 6:30 p.m. You could be a part of this great night of food, mulligans, and, well, a lot of really great stuff. And it doesn't just start and end with what's on this table. I also have received word from insider information. It's actually posted on the website. An autographed Chuck Berry guitar?
Yeah, so we've had somebody that donated that. Now, I don't know that, my understanding is this, that he didn't sign very many guitars at all, and so I don't know that we have like the full authentication papers with that, but certainly a very unique and cool piece that they could be bidding on.
There you go. And then you got a nice bow set up there, it looks like.
Yep.
And then it looks like a free night stay at Pierre Marquette Lodge. That's cool. Sunday through Thursday. I like it.
I think I should bid on some of these things.
This is really cool. So how many are on the group that puts this event together?
So our parents organization does that, and so it's open to all of our parents. Obviously, there's some that are a little bit more involved than others, but it's definitely a collaborative effort, and we tried to start early last year to do this. In fact, we even had those discussions as we were kind of in that tough spot financially, like should we be fast tracking this or whatever else, and so obviously we didn't. We kept these things to do this trivia night. But again, there's a lot of new things that we're doing, and that we're trying to ramp it up to be significantly more than what it was in previous years. This is so
cool. So how do we need to get our tickets by a certain date? Is there a cutoff?
You know what? We have lots of tables and lots of chairs. So if you showed up at the door, I would not turn you away, and I would just get some strapping young lads and say, "Hey, quick, go grab some more tables." They won't be as decorated as nice.
That's
as
right.
The ones that.
That's right.
But we would make do if you showed up.
And this is right there at the school, correct?
It is, yes, in the gymnasium.
That's 2009 Seminary Street, right there in Alton. And of course, if you've lived here for any cup of coffee, you know exactly where that building is. And really, I think it's so cool that just sharing a little bit more about what your goals are. Just some of the I hate to use the word dream, but dreams about erecting these buildings again and building it up. It's exciting to hear because excitement's what fuels a lot of this stuff anyway.
Right. Well, and the mission is worth it.
Right.
That's really the first part of it. If you're not doing anything of lasting value, then how is anybody going to get excited about it?
Right.
The fact that we have really almost 150 years of education on that property is a historical. It is amazing from a historical standpoint that we want to continue it for another 50 or 150 years.
Right. And you can.
Correct. And so, again, we're talking with Faith, who still technically owns the property, and we're working through some of those details. But with 40 acres and the historic legacy there, I can't really see people. Again, maybe I'll find out that I'm wrong and there's bigger challenges than I know, but I can't really see anybody saying, boy, you want to rebuild the buildings that used to be here in the same facade as what they used to be, but, repurposed and new and functionally used, whether that's a STEM center or whether that's an arts building or whether that's, music building. Like there's so many options of things that we could do. We've talked even in the last time about moving into some of the trade type of things and having the facility of the 40 acres centrally located here in Alton is an amazing opportunity.
Isn't that amazing just to hear 40 acres in Alton? Mm-hmm. For campus, and it's truly incredible. And just to hear some of that, I hope you guys get excited about it. And also you can help support this too, because there's no better time than to be a part of something this year for you all as you are embarking on year one of this new journey.
Yeah. And last time we were here, we were able to share the rebranding, which is awesome. Previously, we were trying to raise that money in the pledges.
You did some.
We're at 90%. We still have about $30,000 that needs to be raised. But again, we're in a very healthy place, I think, comparatively, and so there's opportunities on the website still to either pledge or to donate if that's something that you're able to do. We sure would appreciate that help with furthering the mission.
Well, and honestly, all you have to do is go right here. Let me take you there. You just go to mvcs-il.org, and then you can click on one of these three options. Donate monthly, because one time's not as fun, and you can maybe even put $1,000 in there And, just remember that Uncle Sam's coming back around the corner here still, so you can get some government help from that on your taxes, too.
Exactly,
correct?
yeah. And then, of course, the other website is RiverBend.Academy, which is going to have the same...
I still got that one pulled up. That's how excited, Tim, I am about this. Look at that. Boom, right there. Come and see. And can you donate on this site, too?
I believe so. Should be there. It might be a tab, though.
Well, we'll find that. But you can still sign up and learn more about enrollment information and really learn about that Christ-centered education that really you and your staff have been known for, too. And like I've told you before, you can always tell when you guys are educating a student. That's just my perspective, really. That's not a patronizing thing. There's no money exchange going on. It's just it really is just what I noticed.
Well, and again, that the beauty of that is that was unprompted when we first sat down and met, and you just had that interaction with that student in a completely different situation and scenario, and that stood out to you that, hey, not only is this person high character, high morals, a leader, but they're associated with this particular school. And by the way, both of that student's parents went to the school. And so, they're a family that has been involved for quite some time. Yeah. And again, that's what we are looking for, not just this year, but the legacy of the families.
Well, and what is your ideal class size? If you could, I guess, wave a magic wand and get all this, going and perfectly established for you, what would your ideal sizes be for these classes?
I would say we would be at a 15-to-1 ratio. Would be ideal, and that's about where we would be from a capacity standpoint as well, which would be somewhere in the area of 200 students at about 15 per class. We have offering for even down to K3, so we have K3, K4, and so all the way up to 12th. That's always the question that gets asked: are you, elementary? Are you just high school? That type of thing. But yeah, K through 12, and then I think that our capacity right now. Again, they've had more than that in our history on the campus as it's set up, but I think that was a different era where we kind of crammed them into classes a little bit tighter than what we're comfortable with today. So I think 15-to-1 would be a very comfortable from a teaching standpoint, but also from a capacity standpoint. And if we're getting that 200 students, 210 students, we're looking at what our expansion process looks like, both the short term, whether that's like trailers and whatever else, which again, we have the facility and property to put them up while we start construction plans and all of that, which is a tremendous problem for me to have. I look forward to those sleepless nights.
Well, and honestly, I can foresee those coming. Now, getting back to this trivia night, which is where you can help be a part of this too, because all of the money raised is going towards this next chapter.
Correct.
What are you, Tim, if I could put you on the spot, if you had the chance, can you bid on these items? Are you allowed to? Is it like, when you work at the casino, you can't gamble there? Or like, how
do I get to? Is that the question?
Yeah.
We're doing it in a raffle format, so I think I can buy whatever tickets I want.
Okay, so you can still get raffle tickets. Okay. So if you had the choice, though, which one would you be going with?
I would go with the Piasaw offering.
There you go. Oh, that's right. Stay tuned on that one. Is that the bow?
No, that's
that's a different. That's one we talked about.
And I don't have all the details. I just when I heard though that they were going to be partnering with us, I said, "Boy, where's my wallet? What kind of cash do I have?"
Here's my credit card.
Yeah, exactly.
This is incredible. So, if you're just tuning in, though, you can be a part of this trivia night. Tickets are available online. All you have to do is go to the Mississippi Valley Christian School website. That's mvcs-il.org, and just click on the tab. It'll take you right to this little checkout page. We'll look at that already taken care of. And if you're like me that has the Google credit card thing, you don't have to find your debit card. You can just go ahead and put your 3 digits in, and it's taken care of right then and there. And that, once again, is March the 28th at 6:30 p.m. What else do we need to hit on today, man?
Last thing I would say is Riverbend.Academy. Go ahead and put your information in there and open that door so that we can communicate with you and have you come in for one of our come and see tours. and let's talk about what Christian education means for your family and for your future.
100% over. We'll link everything in a write-up on RiverBender.com and make sure that you guys are informed and be a part of this. I mean, how exciting is this to say that you're a part of the first year of Riverbend Christian Leadership Academy? Tim, thanks so much for stopping by.
Thank you, CJ.
We'll take a quick break, 9:44, a little bit of Change More Daily Show on this Wednesday morning next.
Have a rash, pink eye, or urinary tract infection and need care now? OSF On-Call Urgent Care is here to treat you. Start a virtual visit 24/7, whenever and wherever you need it. It's just that easy. osfoncall.org/virtual visit.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, Free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
Brant Walker knows how to get results for Alton because he's done it. As Mayor Brant froze the property tax levy and balanced the budget, his economic development policy stimulated $116 million in private capital investment. Community policing and increased resources for public safety led to a decrease in crime. And under Brant Walker's leadership, Alton secured more than $10 million in extra grant funds for infrastructure and park improvements. Move Alton forward with Brant Walker.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nicello on RiverBender.com. RiverBender.com.
I wanna be high, so high. I wanna be free to know the things I do are right. I wanna be free.
From memory.
It spelled just like it sounds.
How are we doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you, CJ?
Hanging in there. You know, we were talking, my allergies are kind of wonky, but we're getting through it, you know. I feel like it's pain and suffering day for the boss man for pay day. When pay time comes around, this is like my pain and suffering money.
Yeah.
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 Probably not going to happen.
And the weather's turned off nice. Right?
Yeah, right? Well, it's a great week to start getting out again and really start making our lives a little bit easier so we can stop by Comfort Cuisine and then already have all that prep time eliminated, eat a good meal, and then use that time to go for a walk.
Absolutely. You know, and kids are doing after school activities and, you know, everybody's busy. So this is a good way to just get an easy home cooked meal.
Well, and now you've been in business a full year?
Yeah, almost a year and a half now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, that's what I thought. And now how has that year and a half been?
It's been great. It's been a lot of learning curves, you know, just trying to figure things out. But I feel like I've finally kind of honed in on my target customer base and, what they like, what they don't like, so I'm really focusing on the tried and true favorites these days.
Really cool. And now for the folks who maybe haven't stopped in yet, take us through a little bit of what Comfort Cuisine has to offer and, some of the really great menu options that are available too.
Sure. So my concept is it's all takeaway. So I prepare everything, package it, and sell it refrigerated for you to come take home and heat and eat. I like to think of it as a better alternative than, a drive-through fast food option. And my menu changes every week. I focus on comfort food, as the name implies. So it's, it changes. Like, a couple weeks ago it was meatloaf, and this week it's chicken a la king. And, so I'm focusing on comfort food. I've recently added a couple of new menu items, which I'm really excited about.
I know that you were telling me too about this breakfast takeaway option.
Right. So I decided, breakfast is something that a lot of people will skip. I know I do.
Yeah, and my thing is it just takes too long for me in the morning because I want to have a good, bacon and eggs and all that, but it's just timing.
Right. So keeping with my concept, which is takeaway, heat and eat type food, my breakfast items, for instance, this week it's a pulled pork breakfast burrito.
Oh, wow.
So it's pulled pork and eggs and potatoes and what else did I put in there? Cheese, of course. And then I make a homemade salsa and serve it with the salsa on the side. So you can just grab it, take it with you to work tomorrow morning and heat it up in the microwave, and you've got a nice hearty breakfast.
Well, and like you said, it's so much, better than going and getting that, I hate to say it, but that hash brown that's probably been sitting in the freezer for 4 months. And, it's good, but it's not good for you.
Yeah.
And, but this is what I like is you really put this love and care into your meals to where, you're getting that home kind of cooked nostalgia when you're eating this, plus you're getting all this good nutrients too, so you're starting your day off well.
Well, I hope so. One of my goals is to evoke food memories. And, chicken a la king this week, in fact, I had somebody come in yesterday and they said, when they were a child, they hadn't had it since they were a child, and when they were, they'd ask their mother, what's for dinner tonight? And mom would always say, chicken a la king, and so I hope that I evoke some good food memories as well.
Well, and on top of that, has your breakfast started? Your breakfast options, are they out there now?
Yes, yeah. So this week I have the pulled pork burrito. I also am doing a tropical overnight oats parfait.
Really cool.
Yeah. So that one's of course cold, but it's an easy and somewhat healthier maybe option than the pulled pork burrito.
But, honestly, what I think's great is the fact that it's really affordable, too. Because, so many times, especially if you go to, these fast food restaurants, unless you have their app, you're going to be paying a lot of money for this really bad food. I went to Hardee's, just a Star Burger was $9.
Yeah.
That's insane. Why would I do that if I could just go and, for breakfast, pay cheaper, and then for lunch and dinner, you're paying right around the same price for a good meal?
Yeah, I try to keep the price point reasonable. As a business owner, you're walking that fine line, right? But I always kind of ask myself, and my husband and I have several conversations about, what do you think about this? Would you pay this for something? So, the goal is to try to keep the price point at a reasonable place.
Well, and just like this, if you go and you guys can see this by going to comfortcuisine.biz, you can see, right here, their breakfast. Oh, let me zoom in. My eyes are getting really bad now, Lori. I'm getting old. $7.50 for a pulled pork breakfast burrito. That's actually a really affordable breakfast because to me, that's a restaurant style breakfast. And if you go to a restaurant, you aren't paying $7.50 for that. Or I wouldn't expect to.
I don't know. Maybe not. Yeah.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't expect to. I'd expect like $12 just because of all the you add the soda on and all that the good stuff. So I think it's right in there.
Sure,
it really is
good.
And then $3.50 for overnight oats is great.
Yeah, it's a 12 ounce. It's a 12 ounce serving. So it's. I had one, and I actually split it between two breakfasts because it was more than I could eat in one. But
how about that?
Yeah.
Well, and now too, I saw this week you have the hot pulled pork sandwich. You're serving hot sandwiches now.
Well, I'm giving it a try. I've historically always been, my lunch boxes were always cold sandwiches.
Right.
But I wanted to give a hot sandwich a try. I still have a cold sandwich option, but it kind of played into the whole pulled pork burrito concept too. So I've slow roasted some pork roasts and seasoned it up. I'm going to give a plug to some local natives here, Alton natives who've since relocated to Hawaii, but I use their spices to season my roast, and that's a Papaya Spice Company.
Oh, wow.
And so, I have a stock of that at the store. I sell it at the store. I also use it in a lot of my recipes, but I season the pork with that and then toss it with just a little bit of barbecue sauce and serve it with sauce and bread and butter pickles on the side.
Really cool. Well, and see, this is what I think's great is the fact that you're always trying something new too. And see if it works. If not, great. If it does, then even better.
Right. Well, I'll have to tell you, the pulled pork has been pretty popular.
Has it?
Yeah.
Good for you. That's awesome.
And that makes me a little nervous because there's a lot of really good barbecue places here in towns, right?
Well, that's true.
So, but it has been popular. In fact, I'll be putting another pork roast in to cook today because
there you go.
I don't want to run out.
Does it affect your prep time when you have to start worrying about the hot items a little bit?
No, not really.
Interesting. Yeah,
I feel like I've gotten into a really good, efficient routine. So Tuesday I can do some extra cooking. And it doesn't. It's just fine.
And then you have a side option too, correct?
Yes. Yeah. All the lunch boxes come with your choice of a side as well as a taste of our desserts of the week. So my sides, I always have potato chips, and then I do some type of side salad. This week happens to be coleslaw,
nice.
Which goes great with pulled pork.
It
right?
really does. That's kind of the side with the pulled pork sandwich.
Yeah, I think so too. And then choice of my desserts. This week I have carrot cake. Mm-hmm. That is my aunt's recipe
That's cool.
Yeah, she's made that since we were children, and it's, again, those food memories for me, the carrot cake is it. I also have the peach crumb bar,
which is right here in my hand. I'm not going to tip it over, but I will be trying that here shortly.
All right.
That looks fantastic.
Right. Yeah, thanks. So, with the lunch boxes, I do just a taste, just a piece of what you have there that comes with the lunch box.
This is so cool. And, with that being said, you can also order ahead as well and see and really, get some items that are off this week's menu that maybe are not on this week's menu, but different items that you wouldn't see on this week's menu, correct?
Yeah. So I always have, first of all, I always have things in the freezer. So items that can be frozen that didn't sell all of them. I didn't sell all of them in previous weeks. I will put into the freezer and I'll discount them. I do have some items that I've marked even further down from the normal 10% discount. I've marked down to 25% off.
Oh, wow.
So I have several items that are 25% off in the freezer. And also I do pre-orders. So I think I see you're on the pre-order page. So I'm always taking orders for what I'm going to be serving next week. And I always give a 10% discount on any pre-orders. I'm really excited about next week's menu, actually.
Are you?
Yeah.
Well, this is where I think it's fun because next week, you get really into the seasonal items.
Yeah, I love the holidays. So next week is Mardi Gras, right? So or Fat Tuesday, and so I'm.
It's about time. This was a really late Mardi Gras.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, so this is a type of food that I love to cook. I love to eat it, and so I'm really excited about the gumbo and the red beans and rice that I'm making for next week.
Well, it looks really great. And this is what you all were seeing on the screen here with me is just a little bit of that next week where you have the red beans and rice, your gumbo, your Cajun potatoes. This just looks fantastic. It really does just look good. So, how long does it take for you to kind of curate everything? Is it just, do you kind of get spurts of creativity, or is it just kind of something that you set aside time for and really try to just plan for an hour or two?
Well, one thing you may not know about me is I'm always thinking about food. I wake up thinking about what I'm going to eat for dinner tonight, right? So it's kind of a natural thing for me. If I have a few minutes or I'm online and I see a recipe or I see something on a television show that inspires me, I will just start looking it up and going, ooh, I think I want to make that. That's going to go on the menu. When am I going to do it? Now, I do try to think about, I don't want to serve chicken 2 weeks in a row, or I
Right.
don't want to serve beef. I want to try to mix it up. I try not to serve all pasta because I could easily cook pasta every week. So, yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't blame you if you did.
there's a lot of kind of always in the back of my mind things going on, thinking about the menus, but it's actually pretty easy for me to come up with stuff.
That's real. It has, and over the last year and a half, has there been a way that you've changed maybe the way that you prepare food just because of the learning curve of, being hands-on with this, a couple of, over 12 months in?
Well, I think the biggest thing is learning how to scale it up.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, for sure. Are
Yeah.
you seeing a bigger intake of your clientele?
Yeah, and I'm actually seeing, most recently too, I've seen a really big uptick in people looking at my Facebook page,
Good.
talking, there's chatter on Facebook about the business. I've seen several new faces come in the shop, and they're like, oh, I've seen you on Facebook, or, I've heard about you and just want to come in and see what it's all about.
Really cool. And, with that comes, I'm sure, the time to cook more.
I do this. I do this because I loved to do this. I've always wanted to do this, but I also am very cognizant of trying to keep that work-life balance.
Right.
And so I really try to carve out at least one day, maybe a day and a half a week, where I'm really not thinking about the business. So I have time to add to the business if it were to grow.
Mm-hmm.
But I really want to keep my free time. I'm looking forward to golf this spring, actually.
I can hear,
Yeah.
But it's really good for people to know too that, at Comfort Cuisine, you're for every aspect of the family, because you also make, treats for dogs that are very healthy and really nutritious for them too.
Yeah. That's because I have a couple of pups of my own. So, I have to take care of the puppies, and the dog treats are definitely something that I make on my own. I try to make sure that they're good, healthy options for the pups.
And what are in them, just so maybe for the folks that are wanting to stop by and grab some, what are the ingredients that you use?
Well, I try to use either unbleached or whole wheat flour.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a big thing. I believe this week, currently it's apple cinnamon.
Yeah.
So it's really applesauce and cinnamon and honey and flour.
So all things that are just perfect for your dog, actually good for them too.
Yeah. Oh, I think there's like dried apples too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good. My dogs love them.
That's awesome. Well, there's your testament. Well, and see, that's what I think's unique, because every once in a while, like BarkBox will send me, something that's, a dog cookie, and it's like, well, that's great, but that's been stale for 3 months, so I don't know if he's going to be able to have that. So to have something that's, fresh baked and really, cool, that's great for me too.
Yeah, I alternate between the apple cinnamon, and there's a pumpkin one that I like to do as well. So when I run out of the apple, I'll switch it up to pumpkin.
So how good's the steak and mushroom soup?
Oh, well, I only have 1 quart of it left, CJ, so that tells you how good it is.
Well, this is just fantastic. And now, what's your Monte Cristo hand pie? I've never had one of those before.
So Monte Cristo is typically it's ham, turkey, cheddar, and Swiss cheese, and I put it in a puff pastry shell. So I pile that inside of a puff pastry shell along with raspberry jam, which
really cool.
Sounds odd, but it's so good. It gives a really nice sweet element to it. Bake it. So it's it's a hand pie. So you can take it, get it today, I would recommend putting it in your toaster oven or your air fryer, because it's going to crisp up and really be good. But
like a Hot Pocket.
It's a but it's like a fancier Hot Pocket.
Cool.
Better for you, Hot Pocket.
One that's actually going to be the right temperature all the way through.
I hope, yeah.
I always hated those darn Hot Pockets. It's like one of them's freezing cold, and the next bite, your mouth is on fire and scalding.
You get the cheese that goes down your chin.
The 3rd degree burn mark.
Exactly.
Well, can we order online, or do we have to order or pay in store?
So you can, for this, what I have on this week's menu, I am not taking orders online.
Okay, gotcha.
But you can call me, you can text me, you can just stop in the store, and whatever I have available, it's fair game. Like I said, when I run out, like I have 1 quart of the steak and mushroom soup, and I don't really plan to make more of that, because typically if I make it late in the week, it winds up in the freezer, right? But everything that's pre-order and in the freezer, you can order online. So if you order something on the pre-order menu today, you'll pick it up next week, one of my business days, one of the days I'm open.
Really cool. You got a moment to stick around?
I sure do.
We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with Lori and Comfort Cuisine with more right after this on RiverBender.com.
Hey, would you drop by the pharmacy? My doctor switched my cholesterol medication.
Yeah, will do, honey. I'm glad he's looking out for you.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including managing chronic conditions. Schedule an appointment today.
What are you doing? We did our home insurance ourselves, but don't feel protected.
So you're building your own American Family Insurance roof line?
Yeah, life's better when you're protected under American Family's roof.
That's not how it works.
Dad, we'll go. It's gonna hit.
See, that's how it works.
For real protection, save up to 23% by bundling your home and auto with us.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville. Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Village Dispensary has the best deals in Godfrey, Illinois with specials 5 days a week. Mondays, roll in the week with 20 to 30% off select pre-rolls. Tasty Tuesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select edibles. Waxy Wednesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select concentrate and vape brands. Thirsty Thursdays, sip and save with 20 to 30% off all drinks. Flower Friday, grab like 3.5 gram flower deals starting at just $20. Village Dispensary, come meet your best buds.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Where I stand, another serenader and another long-haired band. Today I am your champion. I may have won your hearts, but I know the game and you forget my name.
Welcome back. 9:34. A little bit of change. People are busy today. I'm telling you what, the last couple of days, people are getting, the weather's warming up. You know, once it gets warmer outside, people get back to work. They start getting active again.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, you know, we've had it so cold for so long.
Well, you know, you also, on top of, you know, comfort cuisine and everything else, you really do love food, and you talk about it all the time on a podcast.
Definitely. I do.
Fill me in on it.
That's one of my latest projects. A good friend and I have decided, we've talked for a long time about doing a podcast. And so we've put this together. The podcast is called A Seasoned Friendship, and it's myself and my good friend Robert Myers-Lucier. And we just kind of got this off the ground, but we're very excited. We've done an intro podcast, right? Just kind of, hey, here's what we're about. Here's who we are. We've focused on our first real episode on one that is hot hot dishes and casseroles.
Uh-huh.
Our latest one was spicy recipes.
Is this the one that I'm on right now?
Yeah, I think you're on a recipe page, perhaps.
It's from one of your...
Oh, yeah, okay. It is the heat and flavor.
I like the way you lay it out. That's cool.
Thank
you. So you have the blog, the episode, and then you have the recipes that are discussed in this one.
Absolutely. And we went a little crazy with this last one. We had several recipes.
How cool, though. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Wow.
We love to talk about food. We could get on the phone and talk for a couple of hours. So one of us said, this would be a good podcast. So we decided to put it together.
Well, and you also assemble more material for people to explore, and that's really unique too. I think that's awesome that you go above and beyond like that. It's not just a podcast. I mean, the blog's cool, but the fact that you do the recipes is really awesome. I mean, that's kind of a full picture right there.
Yeah, well, Bob and I have very similar backgrounds in that we both have been and are trainers, and so to educate people, it kind of comes naturally. And like all of the additional materials from last podcast I give all full credit to Bob on that because he pulled all that together.
Really cool. How long is each episode normally?
We try to stick around 30 minutes, but the last one we got a little long-winded and we were more like 45 minutes.
That's cool.
We want to keep it between 30 and 45.
Really awesome. Well, and then on top of that too, not just with the menu and the next week options where you can pre-order ahead of time, and then this week's menu where you can go in to the store and pick it up or reach out and arrange it. But you also do catered comfort, where you do catered desserts, correct?
Right. Well, catered comfort, I call it comfort food for a crowd, and it's just over the Christmas holidays, I offered certain desserts, and they really seem to resonate with people. But pretty much any dessert that I have on my menu that you've had and you say, ooh, we've got a party coming up and I'd like to have a full pan of that, reach out to me because I can make a custom dessert for a party. I also like to do small dinner parties. Usually it's like an entree, a salad, and possibly a dessert. Small dinner parties, focus on small because I'm one person, so
right. But what do you think? Like up to 20?
Yeah. I think up to 20. I did something for 100 recently, and I learned that maybe was a little too much. So. Yeah,
I could easily see that. 100's a lot of people to cook for.
Yeah, and I have a very small place, and I have limited storage, right? So you kind of have to think in terms of the correct scale.
Well, and before you said that you kind of have figured out your group now, your crew of who do you think if maybe someone hasn't gone by your storefront yet, who do you think really fits the mold that you're trying to service here?
Well, I want everybody to come in.
That's a good answer. I was waiting for that one.
But, I see a lot of busy families, right, that are, they're just on the go, right? And this is an easy meal. I see a lot of people who just simply don't like to cook.
Right.
Or don't have time to cook.
Or, I was even thinking, because for me, it's like, well, why would I go to Schnucks and spend $20 on a meal for one? Because no matter what you get, by the time you get the meat option and you get, a side option, you're going to spend easily $15 to $20 on that when I could just already have it cooked with the same type of food that I'd like from you.
Right. Well, thank you. Yes.
That's kind of my point. For single people, why wouldn't you do that? Because there's not really a good singles option when you're trying for affordability anymore when you're grocery shopping.
And my entrees are generally 2 moderate servings or 1 large. So you could potentially
a lunch
have
the next day. Or?
You could have dinner. You throw together a salad, eat half of it, and then take the rest for lunch the next day.
That's really cool. See, that's exactly what I'm it really does serve a lot of purposes, and it's just it's not fast food, but it really is in a way, because by the time you get home and put it in the whatever reheating device you want to use, you're done within 10 minutes at most.
Yeah. I would always recommend that you reheat in an oven.
Yeah.
But I put everything. Most weeks I put everything in a microwavable container. So, to help facilitate.
How long's the reheat times normally in the oven?
Well, I would say anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad still.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about the prep time or a messy kitchen.
Exactly.
Winner for me. With that being said, what do you hope to do with Comfort Cuisine the next year, next couple of months? Anything on your mind?
I want to expand keep offering the breakfast items, keep working on the hot sandwich. If the hot sandwiches take off, I could be convinced to put in a sandwich press, and doing some hot sandwiches.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I have several. My husband's been pushing for that for months.
Keep pushing. I'm in. I'm 100% in.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a little outside of my business model, right? Because everything is refrigerated. But I think that, especially with the warmer months, I see a lot more people downtown, and people are looking for something that they can just take, maybe go sit down at the Lincoln Douglas Square and have a nice little picnic.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and when do you guys do your podcast? When do they normally is it just when you all are available too, or?
Right now we're doing one. We're trying to do one a month.
Okay.
We're scheduling them to where we record about mid-month, and then they come out about a week later, because there's I'm sure there's a lot of editing, and there's the website that has to get updated and everything else. So try to get it out once a month, but we just talked yesterday about maybe doing more than one a month.
That'd be cool. I mean, honestly, what you're doing is great. I love it. I'm a big fan. Well, I always tell people, I love to see the effort in it, because if it's good for all of us, and this is great for all of us, especially if you give us recipes and not the Google ones, because, man, those are tough. I used to think that's where you go get recipes, but it's a nightmare, because you go on there and then you're inundated with 55 ads just to find out how much time you need to preheat the oven for,
Yes, yeah.
Those blogs are brutal.
You have to sift through, so many recipes to find a good one.
Yeah. 100%. Or you can just stop by Comfort Cuisine and not worry about all that. It's done.
Yeah.
Taken care of. And now with Mardi Gras next week, fill us in on your specialties or your menu items next week for the holiday.
So I'm doing gumbo yaya, and that's essentially a chicken and sausage gumbo served with rice. I have a vegetarian option, because I always try to do a vegetarian option on my menu, and that is the red beans and rice this coming week. My breakfast items, I'm doing what I'm calling a heat and eat hearty breakfast, which is going to be a sausage breakfast casserole with a side of hash brown casserole.
Oh, wow.
As well as a mixed berry baked oatmeal. My soup is Cajun potato soup. And my lunch boxes, I'm doing a muffaletta, which is very, very Mardi Gras, with a smoky potato salad.
What's a muffaletta? I just got to let the cat out of the bag.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So a muffaletta.
I try to not listen a lot of the time, but this one I'm curious.
This one I do ham, roast beef, and pepperoni. I'm going from memory here, with provolone cheese. But the thing that makes it really, really good is there's an olive salad. So it's a zippy olive salad that goes on it, and it's piled high on a bun. I'm going to put it on a ciabatta bun.
That sounds awesome.
It's one of my favorite sandwiches.
I am in. 100% in.
Come by.
Oh, man. All righty. Well, you better stop by. You can go to comfortcuisine.biz, correct?
Correct.
Or you can just stop by the storefront. What's the physical?
4 East Broadway.
And then what are your hours?
Monday, Tuesday, 11 to 6. Friday and Saturday, 11 to 3.
Really awesome. Well, I'll see you there at Comfort Cuisine. That is just a great opportunity, too.
Yeah, thanks.
And get your doggos treats there, too, and make them really happy. But see, then you're going to spoil them, though. So you got to kind of do that with moderation, I'm sure.
My dogs are very spoiled.
I'm sure.
Right.
We'll take a quick break. More Daily Show on this Tuesday morning. Comes back right after this on Riverbender.
Hey, would you drop by the pharmacy? My doctor switched my cholesterol medication.
Yeah, will do, honey. I'm glad he's looking out for you.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including managing chronic conditions. Schedule an appointment today.
What are you doing? We did our home insurance ourselves, but don't feel protected.
So you're building your own American Family Insurance roof line?
Yeah, life's better when you're protected under American Family's roof.
That's not how it works.
Dad, we'll go. It's gonna hit.
See, that's how it works.
For real protection, save up to 23% by bundling your home and auto with us.
With over
20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville. Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Village Dispensary has the best deals in Godfrey, Illinois with specials 5 days a week. Mondays roll in the week with 20 to 30% off select pre-rolls. Tasty Tuesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select edibles. Waxy Wednesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select concentrate and vape brands. Thirsty Thursdays, sip and save with 20 to 30% off all drinks. Flower Friday, grab like 3.5 gram flower deals starting at just $20. Village Dispensary, come meet your best buds.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
They try to say you were always there for me. Somewhere when the sun begins to shine, I hear a song from another time.
Welcome back, Lacy. 10:20, that's the time on this, is it Wednesday?
It is Wednesday, yes.
Oh, look at that.
Yes. Made it to Wednesday.
Listen, it's the twilight zone until summer here. But we're almost there, and life's looking pretty good, and you're back in the saddle.
I'm back, yeah. It's good to be here. Thank you.
Very colorfully dressed today.
I try. I specifically dressed up to be on your show.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very much.
You're welcome.
We're talking about a kid that hated his life and left town.
Well, I don't know if he hated his life.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Maybe that was I was wanting to add that for dramatic effect.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was 9.
Live at 11. Kid leaves town on train, joins circus. Right?
Okay. I don't know why he left, and I don't know what he was going to join.
Damn, I almost had it.
I know.
I was ready for this
I had a lot
league.
of questions, and they apparently didn't do any follow-up interviews with this 9-year-old, sadly. So
they suck an investigative reporter on him for 9 years.
Yeah, the whole series, his purposes.
Oh my God,
intentions.
that is hilarious.
Yeah.
So he stowed away.
He stowed away. Not only did he stow away on a train, so this is 1925.
He stowed away on the only way.
Yes, the only way. The Chicago and Alton Railroad. The only way.
I got it in. Knew I would.
Yes, the tagline of the Chicago and Alton Railroad. And so he planned to go to Chicago. That's what he told people later after they found him. But he accidentally took the train to St. Louis instead. So I don't know what his purpose in Chicago was. Maybe it was circus.
It's like the first installment of Home Alone. Instead of going to, where are they supposed to go? France? He went to New York.
Oh, well, yeah, he went to New York in the second one.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We're getting there. And you know what I just want to point out? Old taglines always sound so authoritarian. Have you noticed? The only way.
Yeah.
Like you better eat these mints or you'll die. It's never break me with another piece of that Kit Kat bar. It's you better eat this Kit Kat bar. It would have been the tagline in 1850.
Doctors recommend this Kit Kat bar.
Dr. McGillicuddy's because you have to.
Yeah.
Okay, enough of CJ stupidity. They had a ladies' tea room on this train.
They did have a ladies' tea room, and I don't know exactly what that meant. Because they also had a smoking lounge, and so I don't know if the smoking lounge was just for men.
Can I just bring? I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Why does it say Japanese maid in attendance?
Okay, didn't love that part.
I'm not laughing because it's horrible, but this is advertised,
and this is kind of like the casual racism of the 1920s.
Yeah, I'm not being funny, but it's like, okay, really, you're advertising you have a Japanese maid on your train?
In the ladies' tea room, Japanese maid in attendance is on the ad for the Alton Limited train.
Yeah.
And I looked for that. I wanted to see if there was anything in the newspaper that talked about what that actually entailed or why they needed to specify that it was a Japanese maid.
Right.
And I couldn't find
like
anything.
Maybe it was a term or so. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think it was like, okay, in that time period, there was a lot of interest in, Asia and culture. And so this was an attempt to like make it fancy. We'll have a Japanese maid. But again, it's that sort of that casual racism of like,
yeah. Well, see, I get you there. I just thought like maybe at first when I looked at it, it was like, like a different term, like a Japanese maid meant that you only did X, Y, and Z tasks. That's why I don't mean it like it because it's totally terrible and I mean this is not even subtle.
It is not.
This is pretty bad.
And all references I found to Japanese maid in relation to the train were advertisements about there being a Japanese maid in the ladies' tea room.
That is so wild.
Yes. So because I was hoping there would be,
Context,
yes. Like this is
right.
This is
that's kind of what I was looking for.
Even if it was like a specific person that they were talking about, but no, it was just this kind of nebulous part of the advertising. Yes. And I almost didn't use this because of that, but it was such a good picture of the train from that time period.
Well, I think it's a very honest interpretation.
And it means we can talk about kind of what they're doing here and what was acceptable in that time period.
And see, I think that's part of the problem why we got into this whole history mess to begin with like the debates getting so sour, because we couldn't have, it seemed like we just started yelling. And I think some of it was because it's like, not you, but like history books kind of omitted things that didn't look very enlightening for us.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden people are kind of hit with it and it's, boom, brick wall here, and we aren't going to get to any type of discussion. It's just going to be a yes and no conversation.
You're right. I mean, I think that you have to look at it throughout history, too, because a lot of times the negative aspects are kind of glossed over.
Yeah.
And so if we make a point to really look at them and talk about them, then it's not like this happened in this time period, this happened in this time period, nothing to tie the two together.
You hit it on that. That's kind of my point, because people kind of think that I maybe think a different way or have a different mindset, and it's not. It's just you have to have an honest conversation, and if you can't have that, then it's never going to get better. You're just going to keep going through the cycle of literal history. I mean, that's literally all it's going to do.
Yeah.
But Gaspar
Moroni, I think.
I almost called him a moron. I'm not even going to lie. I almost said is it Gaspar?
I think.
I like the name. That's actually pretty cool.
Moroni. He later.
I like that.
Was listed as Jasper Moroni, so I assume that was an Americanized.
The translation. But Gaspar is such a cool name.
Yeah.
Kind of sounds like a spy. Was this 9-year-old a spy?
Maybe.
I mean,
maybe that's why he got on the train. I don't know.
What? Okay, the headline is a little like, I don't know if that's what I would have used as the editor of the Alton Evening Telegraph. Alton has a new champion, Runaway Boy.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what we were going with back then?
Okay, so the actual headline was Runaway Boy found on pilot of fast train. And then literally the very first line was Alton has a new champion, Runaway Boy. Yes. That was direct.
Was it a sport to run away from home?
Well, then I wondered who the previous champion had been.
Oh my God.
Well, okay, here's
Could
the
you
crazy
imagine
part.
going to like Alton Cemetery and you see champion runaway? Like just, honestly, I mean, like what? I read that line because I did see this article and I went, what? What is a champion runaway boy? I mean, the kid ran away from his house. That's kind of serious.
Yes. I feel like, okay, I need to say a couple of things about this. So
yeah, we need context here. I've been kind of just throwing some things out here.
No, that's all right. Okay, so Gaspar Moroni ran away from home, got on the train in Alton that was going to St. Louis, meant to go to Chicago, but got on the train going to St. Louis. And here, quick side note, this train, I think, because I looked at a lot of timetables, was Chicago, Bloomington, Springfield, Alton, St. Louis. So like it literally
end of the line.
Yeah, and also, I mean, it was Alton was a stop, even though it was smaller than all the other cities that were.
Gotcha.
So anyway, he got on the train in Alton, and then he was just past Roxana, where the telegraph operator saw something on the train. And this is the front of the train, like the cow catcher. He was sitting on the front of the train.
The cow catcher?
Yeah. Do you know what a cow catcher is?
I don't know. I'm learning something new today.
Yeah. Okay. So you can't see it super well on the picture, but
is that what that's for?
Yeah. Yeah. It's also called a pilot, but I thought that was a little confusing.
Okay.
So I also put cow catcher
so it's a cow splitter because of the moment that cow gets hit by
it's gentle. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I have no idea.
And that's how fast food was invented. They just had
It is to prevent trains like running into something and leaving the tracks. But it's called cow catcher.
That's
and
definitely
so
caught
you can know what that is. So yeah, so he was sitting on the top of that. So it's not even just that he's stowed away on a train. He legit was just sitting on the front of the train, and they saw him. And normally the train did not stop between Alton and St. Louis, so they stopped right after Roxana. He threw a semaphore signal, and the train crew came out and found him, and he was fine. They said, cold but contented and a little angry at being stopped so soon on his adventure out into the world. So they took him onto the train, and he was he was having fun. He was elated by the novel experience, and they took him into the smoking car. So yeah, I know, 1925. The yard master.
Did they hand him a box of cigarettes too?
It said candy, but I've seen pictures of children smoking in the 1920s.
I mean, in the 60s, we were still smoking at 12, you know?
So the yard master for the Chicago and Alton train happened to be on this train. So his name was John C. McEwen, and he took charge of the kid, took him into the smoking car. He was the center of attention.
Really good role model.
Right, yeah. Well,
Take him into the smoking car.
He wasn't on the cow catcher anymore. And then apparently all the passengers just thought this was like a novel experience too. So they bought him candy, and he was like going around telling everybody his story. So
I ran away from my parents.
Yeah. So they got to Granite City, stopped the train, even though, again, this wasn't a normal stop. And then McEwen made arrangements to have him sent home to Alton on the next train going the other way. And then he arrived back in Alton at 6:30 p.m. and a police officer took him home. So the whole thing was 4:45 to 6:30. So it wasn't a super, super long time. And he was 9. So it's possible that his parents didn't even realize that he was gone. I mean, he could have been off playing with neighbors in that period of time.
You know what I'm saying? How great would it have been though if he was like, I've had enough of this. I'm running away from home. So he leaves and all this happens. Like it feels like Narnia. It's like 40 years later and it's only been an hour and 10 minutes or 40 minutes. And his parents are like, oh, how we back so soon? You know, you know what I'm saying? Like I just think that would be the best part of the story.
Well, and part of the craziness was that the Associated Press picked up the story, but they misreported him as being 5 years old. And I was at home working on this. It was when I was working from home, and I didn't know if he was 5 or 9. And so I ended up calling Beth Phillips, I was in the library because I have access to most stuff from home, but I didn't have access to Ancestry. And I was like, Beth, can you figure out if this kid was 5 or 9? Because that's a totally different story. If your 5-year-old disappears for that long and is found on a train, that would be very terrifying and a little bit more adorable. But she was able to find census records and other things to confirm that he actually was 9. But yeah, he left for Chicago, ended up at Granite City, came back to Alton. Got the title of Champion Runaway.
Champion Runaway. We'll take a quick break because I don't even know where the hell to go with that from here. So we'll reset and we'll come back with. By the way, So John's on vacation.
Okay.
And it's his first day. I shouldn't say that on the. I know what the hell. So we're kind of. I'm unsupervised technically.
Okay.
Because even though I am still under supervision, I don't call it direct.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the ask for forgiveness later mindset.
Yeah, well, because the information will get to him, but is he going to stop his vacation to, deal with something minor?
I don't know. Who knows? I don't know what that issue would be. I haven't thought of something.
Yeah, I know. It sounded like you were leading up to something.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that far. Who knows? We'll think of something.
Okay.
That's part of my problem. I'm a really good thinker, and then it's like the actual planning is where I fall apart.
All right, we can work on that.
Yeah, kind of like, I don't know. The fall of Rome kind of sums up my life a little bit. Takes a lot to get there, and then boom, overnight. Back after this.
Have a rash, pink eye, or urinary tract infection and need care now? OSF On-Call Urgent Care is here to treat you. Start a virtual visit 24/7, whenever and wherever you need it. It's just that easy. osfoncall.org/virtual visit.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Brant Walker knows how to get results for Alton because he's done it. As Mayor Brant froze the property tax levy and balanced the budget, his economic development policy stimulated $116 million in private capital investment. Community policing and increased resources for public safety led to a decrease in crime. And under Brant Walker's leadership, Alton secured more than $10 million in extra grant funds for infrastructure and park improvements. Move Alton forward with Brant Walker.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Carmen and the devil walking side by side. I said, hey, Carmen, come on, let's go downtown. She said, I gotta go, but my friend is sticking around. Take the load off, Fanny.
Welcome back. 10:36. Wanted to wait for the music to die down. Good song.
Good.
Good song.
Give it its respect.
The wait, the band.
Yeah.
Good band. The band. I don't know where to go with that.
This is turning into a music appreciation show.
I'm going to do music trivia soon.
Oh, nice.
On the show, because I put out, what happens is you get an idea, you get the hair, and then all of a sudden you realize all the other tasks that are in front of you throughout the day.
Just what you were referring to earlier.
Yes. I think.
Yeah.
Hell, I don't even know what I was talking about.
Oh, like an idea, but then the execution is like so
totally.
much.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, 100%. Thank you for remembering
You're
that
welcome.
one. And, I said let's do giveaways and like have businesses like, if they want to kind of a free way of advertising for them. And we're getting there. It's on me now to execute again. Planned it well. Well, I thought of it very well. I put a lot of effort into the thought process. A lot of weighing. The weight just played, so it's kind of tying in back to that. Yep. The band, and give me another month, and we'll have some music trivia.
Isn't it nice when you have an idea and you've done the part where you like sent out all the emails, made the calls, and it's all in someone else's. The ball is in someone else's court.
Yeah, but that's not my situation right now.
No, I know, that's what I'm saying. And then they like start getting back to you, and you're like,
oh yeah,
ball's
that's
in my
the worst.
court again.
Yeah, that is the worst. You're like the tide's turning and not my direction. You know.
Yeah.
But you know what? The tide did turn for Gaspar. River Traveler, because he almost made it to Chicago. He couldn't make it to Chicago. I wasn't going to say world, but he didn't even travel. He barely traveled the Mississippi River, so River Traveler.
I mean, kind of.
Correct.
Well, it was on a train track near the river.
He did travel.
Yes. To Granite City.
I thought it was St. Louis.
Well, he didn't make it to St. Louis.
Oh, that's right.
They found him in Roxana, and then they sent him on the what have been
They're
going to
consider this kid the damn champion. I mean, he didn't even make it past. I mean, that's not even 10 miles.
I know, but like he was on the cow catcher. It's not like he was like in the smoking lounge or ladies' tea room the whole time. Like he was sitting on the cow catcher. I don't even know if
I'd put an asterisk next to that champion. I think we need to go back and revise that headline or that article.
We don't know. Maybe that's the best anyone has done.
Yeah, the other kid only got to like East Alton, you know?
Yeah. And like now you wouldn't be, can you imagine trying to be on the front of like an Amtrak train?
Oh my
You'd
God.
slide right off.
No, not if it's going fast. You could just do like one of those, like the Twister ride at Six Flags.
Get on it right before it starts. And then as long as it's a high speed.
And just hope to dear God that you don't have enough inertia to fly off at 140 miles an hour.
Yeah. This is a bad idea. No one should be trying to be the champion runaway.
What a dangerous segment to come back with, Lacey. What a dangerous segment. Do not let your children get on the Amtrak and ride it on the front.
On the front, right.
And inside the Amtrak is safe.
Yes. Please. Only let your children ride inside trains.
So let's talk about Gaspar's home life.
Okay.
What sibling made him leave?
I wondered about that too. Okay, so he had 7 siblings.
That does it right there.
There were 7 living children. So he had a 7-year-old brother, a 5-year-old brother, a 4-year-old sister, and a 2-year-old brother, and then 2 older siblings. So I feel like maybe he just was like, there are a whole bunch of kids here. I'm going to go do something else.
Are you sure you didn't write the plot to Home Alone?
Maybe this was the inspiration.
I just feel like I'm
have
reading
to ask
like
John Hughes.
I'm really going to start to question Home Alone now, because this is Home Alone. Actually, it's not, but it kind of is.
I feel
it's
like
a reverse Home Alone.
It's a reverse Home Alone, and also, inspiration can come from anywhere.
How depressing, though, if your family doesesn't even know you're gone.
Okay, but again, it's like an hour and a half. Like,
I know, but I'd still take it personally. Right. When you come home after an adventure like that, you're like, what? No one even asked how my day went.
Like if I went on this adventure and then came home and my parents were like, "Oh, were you gone?" Yeah, I would be furious. I just mean from the parents' perspective.
I'd be back on that cow catcher in about 4 minutes.
You'd be going the right way. I'd be like, "This is the right train. I'm going to Chicago." But I mean, like, even in today's day and age, if you have a 9-year-old and they're like playing in the neighborhood, you might not see him for an hour. They might be running around the neighbor's house.
Could be.
Now I'm going to be worried that my children have caught trains somewhere.
My grandpa used to do that back, when he was a kid. They used to just hop on it and like ride it down to Broadway and jump off.
Where did they get on?
By Fast Food, by Bonaire.
What part of the train?
The little box.
Like the caboose on the end? Okay.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
Yeah, not the front, not the cow catcher.
No, they were I do that so many times. Like I'll sit here and I get the worst, like it's like a fear whenever you nudge something that you aren't expecting to nudge, and then you think you just shot something. Have you ever done that where you're like,
yeah.
Yeah, or you think something's getting ready to fall, but it's not,
Yeah.
so you look really crazy. Like that's, well, not you, I do, because that's what, like I'll go, try to catch it, and it's,
Well, because if it does fall, that's really bad.
Could be.
So your reaction is not outsized for what the potential consequences could be.
We do know that the Maronis did immigrate from Italy in the late 1800s.
Yes. The parents did in the late 1800s. The father was definitely the late 1800s. The mother, I wasn't sure about. Her name was Mary or Maria, depending on what you looked at. And Dan, the father, was from Rome. I think Mary was from Sicily. And then she died in 1926, which was pretty sad.
Whoa,
and
I know why they're in America. You had a Northern Italian marrying a Sicilian again. That's a little bit different.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's
you can give me the Italian facts.
There's a cultural divide right there. That's why my family, they were...
Oh, really?
And my great-grandparents,
Because of a marriage?
Well, kind of, yeah. I got to get the full story again, but it's kind of the same lines because the Northern Italians do not like... I mean, it's the Sicilians are kind of it was a prejudice thing, really, a class war.
See, this is so interesting, and that's why context is so important, because if you just look at it, you're like, oh, they're both from Italy.
Yeah.
But
kind of interesting.
You're
going from the north. It's really interesting. You have to. I'll send you something. Okay. It's pretty interesting about it.
Well, and I wasn't sure exactly.
Did their marriage last?
Until she died.
Oh. God, why'd you have to hit me with that?
Well, I just told you. She died in 1926.
Oh, okay.
But
man, that wasn't too long after.
No, it was just after this. But
what'd she die of?
She died of, I think it was just like, she had a surgery for something minor and then died.
See, that's just terrible. Isn't that so crazy to think about, though? Like, surgery used to be like even like 20 or 30 years ago, remember, like, people would like pray for you all the time, even if it was something minor. And now it's like people are getting hip surgeries, they're out the next day. And my dad got his knee done, he was out the same day. And
it's crazy.
Yeah, bypasses are getting simpler, and it's wild.
It's medical technology is like my favorite thing ever. But yeah, so and I don't know if they got married in Italy or got married in the United States.
That's what my question would be. If that was kind of why, because you would have to kind of leave town pretty quick.
Yeah, I couldn't find that. And then the dad got remarried, and he lived. Gosh, the dad lived until 1964.
Wow.
And then Jasper or Gaspar.
That's a pretty long life for his dad.
Yeah.
Must have ate his Wheaties.
Died in 1994. So they were here for a while.
Did he ever talk about this train ride again?
You know what? The only instance I could find about the train ride was just in 1925. And so if he did talk about it, it wasn't in the newspaper. And one of the things that was super difficult, and I kind of mentioned this before, but like there were so many different spellings for Maroni and for Gaspar.
Yeah.
So Marone, like with just an E, Maroni with an I-E. There was just an A.
What's this one that just has a question mark in quotes? Is that what they used at one point in time?
A question mark in quotes.
Where they just kind of gave up on spelling it? There's a little guy that's doing this too. It says Jasper.
I don't know. I don't have that on mine. That must have been okay. I was like, Sydney must have put that in. That's not on my draft. I sent.
Then they could just went Jasper.
Well, yeah. If it's like a not deliberate, a like clear spelling error, then you do like the like closed brackets and it says like SP question mark. Is that what's on there?
No, I was just messing with you.
Oh, you were just messing with me.
Literally the entire thing.
Okay, I don't know. Could be on there.
Are you glad to be back in the studio?
I am glad to be back.
Glad to have you back.
Do we have a couple more minutes? I can tell people where
I
was
I
and what I was doing.
I didn't want to talk about it.
But, no, I'm happy to do that. So I was gone because I had to have surgery for breast cancer. It was very, very early. It was caught very, very early at my 40th birthday mammogram. So this is your PSA. you turn 40 and they recommend that you get a mammogram, go get a mammogram because it was stage 0. We were able to take care of it right away. And it's a lot easier to get a cancer diagnosis when they say, you're not going to die. You just have to take care of this.
Right.
So I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in an article in October. But yeah, I was out for 4 weeks and I missed you every Wednesday morning,
Well,
CJ.
thank you. I missed your presence as well.
Yeah. And so it was a stressful experience, but it was also something I'm really grateful for because medical technology these days is something they can just find things early and take care of it, and then you are back to normal.
Well, and I'm thank you for sharing. I'm so glad you're doing better.
Thank
though.
you.
I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
I mean, a hell of a 40th. I hate to say it, but a hell of a 40th wake up call. But what a good reminder though for people, because you never know, because we're all living our lives all the time, and you know, if you didn't get that, who knows what would have been the case.
Well, and that's the thing too. There was nothing that I could have discovered on my own.
Right.
This was fully, my surgical oncologist even said, I couldn't have found it in a self-exam. And the technology they have now, even as opposed to like 15 years ago, what I had was ductal carcinoma in situ, which is about 20% of what's being diagnosed for breast cancer right now. And that's because they're finding it. It's not because it's more common, because it's more prevalent. It's that it's a stage 0 pre-invasive cancer, and so it can get taken care of. And
great.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just glad that you're healthy.
Yeah,
I mean,
thank you.
honestly, and I'm glad that you're back in the saddle here and moving forward. So, is everything else going good though, health wise?
Everything else is going well, and yeah, I'm feeling good and happy to be back.
How was the family with all of it? Are they okay? All the stress gone now, or?
Yes. Okay. So my daughter was only really concerned that it might be genetic and that it would affect her, and it wasn't.
What a smart child. I mean, that is a very smart child.
And yeah, no, my family's been great. My mother-in-law went to all my appointments with me.
That's cool.
She's wonderful. And
really cool.
Yeah. So I didn't talk about it a lot as I was figuring things out. There were a lot of questions about what the treatment was going to be, if I was going to have a mastectomy or just have a surgery, a less invasive surgery, all of that. And so once I knew what was happening, once we knew that they'd gotten all the cancer, I'm obviously going to be pretty open about it now. But yeah, seriously, I actually, it was kind of like, oh my God, my 40th birthday. But I kind of liked that because I'd rather it be 40th and be more dramatic and a like, hey, go get your mammogram on your 40th birthday. This is what happened to me. Yeah. Instead of like 43. And then it's just like, well, at some point in your 40s.
They only remember the zeros and the fives, Lacy.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Well, yeah. So like, it's more like
it's a good
serious that way. Like, go do it. This is my experience.
Well, and you really, I number one, really do appreciate you sharing your experience.
Thank you.
And please go get checked out if you need to. And we're just glad that you're healthy and moving forward with us. So,
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
See you next week.
See you next week.
We'll take a quick break. 10:50. We'll come back with, it is 60 degrees outside.
Can you believe last week we were like out of school for snow
and
ice and stuff?
I mean, it's fun until it's like 4:30 and the sun's going down and it's 35 again. It was brutal. I had to go out to Gordon Moore last night. Oh my God, you couldn't. I mean, that is how you get answers out of the enemy. You go ahead and stick them out there without any coat on in the wind. It was brutal. All right, enough about me. Back after this.
Get access to care for anyone, anywhere, at any time. No appointments, no waiting rooms, no traveling. OSF on call.
Village Dispensary has the best deals in Godfrey, Illinois with specials 5 days a week. Mondays roll in the week with 20 to 30% off select pre-rolls. Tasty Tuesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select edibles. Waxy Wednesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select concentrate and vape brands. Thirsty Thursdays, sip and save with 20 to 30% off all drinks. Flower Friday, grab select 3.5 gram flower deals starting at just $20. Village Dispensary, come meet your best buds.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nistello on RiverBender.com.
And I know just where I stand. Another serenader and another long-haired band. Today I am your champion. I may have won your hearts, but I know the game and you forget my name. I won't be here in another year if I don't stay on the charts.
Welcome back. 10:55, a little bit of change on this Wednesday morning. Oh, it's not Thursday. Oh, my God. I am just all over the place. I promise you, I was like so prepared to end the show and just end it on a solid note. I was landing the plane and yeah. All righty. One last bit for you. And, RiverBender.com. Okay. One last little bit for you, and that is out of Alton here. And just wanted to give you an update. You saw it first on RiverBender.com. I actually saw it live on RiverBender.com. For the third straight season, O'Fallon and Alton met in the Class 4A girls basketball sectional semifinals. And for the second straight year, the Redbirds defeated the Panthers, this time by a score of 46-32 Tuesday night at Alton High. Taking a look back, it was O'Fallon who ended Alton's 31-2 season in the sectional semifinals just 2 years ago when the Panthers hosted the sectional. O'Fallon won 49-43 and later went on to win its first ever state title. O'Fallon also beat Alton in the regular season as the two teams split the Southwestern Conference title, and since then, Alton has now won the last 7 meetings with O'Fallon, 4 times in the regular season conference and once in tournament action, also twice in the postseason. The emotions of the rivalry have begun to simmer down for now. Throughout the night, Alton and O'Fallon battled back and forth, and we'll take you right here to this portion of the game where the Panthers, where the Redbirds were in control 28-17 heading into the locker rooms at halftime. The best O'Fallon could do was get in within 7 at 36-29 early on in the fourth quarter, but never got any kind of momentum. O'Fallon's season does end at 24-10. The Panthers led by Behringer with 10 points, Calmer with 7, and Christopher and Hart each with 6. McCottrell with 3 points during the game. Here's what O'Fallon head coach had to say. We did a 1-box on Proctor, and then when she was opposite the ball, it kind of switched to a hybrid zone where Calmer kind of would back off. We just knew there was no stopping that size in the post. There was little resistance, but the dubbed twin towers of Talia Norman and Jarius Powers still finished with 10 and 9 points respectively. The talk of the night, though, was Lacy for Alton. She led all scorers with 17 points. We left Anthony and Lacy and Justice open all night long, and that was our game plan. Noloff said we were going to stop the big three, slow them down, and I thought we did that. Kudos to Lacy for stepping up. She did it in the game against us last time, too. Lacy put up 17 points the last time Alton played O'Fallon on the 30th of January, and she went 5 and 11 from the floor, 6 and 8 from the foul line. Proctor added 6 points on Tuesday, and Haynes with 4 points. It was Lacy's 16th double-digit night this season, averaging 9.1 points per game, making that drive instead. Alton improves to 31-2 on the season and moves to the sectional championship, which is tomorrow at 6 p.m. The top-seeded Redbirds will host that game, and RiverBender.com will be bringing it to you again. How exciting will that be? Making the drive will be number 3 seeded Peak, and the Dragons upset top-seeded Normal Community 47-39 Tuesday night. In the other sectional semifinal, and will come to Alton with a 20-13 record. And we will see you live tomorrow night at 6 p.m. as we bring you that game. It's 10:59 and I'm out of time, but I will see you on this Thursday with a great conversation and a slew of guests. We got Mustache March for PD and a lot of other great topics to talk about then. So enjoy the day. It's almost 60 degrees. Get out of there. What are you doing? Go see the sun and try your best to stay out of jail.